You guys, your next performer is the co-host of Side Note and the co-host of ASAP Science, my friend, Greg Brown, everybody! Okay, so I am whiter than you. Okay, try me. I have literal receipts from 23andMe. Okay, I recently found out that I am 99.9% Northwestern European. So I am the physical embodiment of like cold cuts, lettuce, and mayonnaise because I'm inbred. Also, I found out I have more Neanderthal DNA than 87% of the world's population. And famously, Neanderthals had very loud, high-pitched voices, so you might think this is gay voice, but it's actually a Neanderthal voice. Also, they were the first species to ever wear clothes. They were the first to ever make it fashion, and people are like, why did Neanderthals go extinct? And I'm like, maybe they were all gay. Speaking of gay shit, isn't it crazy how all the cereal mascots from when we were growing up are gay? Like you've got your Art Twink, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. And you know that Snap, Crackle, and Pop were into art because they wore toques or winter hats that they rolled up so their ears were exposed. Right? Literally if you wear a toque in the winter and you roll it up so your ears exposed and you don't make art, that's embarrassing. Or it's like Tony the Tiger was obviously gay. He's jacked, fully naked, and wearing just a bandana around his neck. Tony prides once a year, put some clothes on. Oh, yeah. But obviously the gayest of them all was the toucan from the cereal Fruit Loops, right? He made a bunch of multicolored bird-sized assholes that you could eat for breakfast. 'Twas a gay. So obviously it's a really weird time right now for straight guys, right? They're losing the teensiest little bit of power and they're freaking the fuck out, right? It's not a cute look. Honestly, in the last year, I can think of one time a straight guy said anything cute, right? It's at me with an example. But especially in comedy, they're always oh, these liberal snowflakes, they're so hashtag triggered. You can't say anything anymore, they're so sensitive. But it's if you just say the word patriarchy in front of a man, they faint. Honestly, try it sometime. Maybe not on the pavement, that's kind of cruel, but if they're in a field, just patriarchy, they'll pass right out, right? But it's why can't men just accept that we all live in a patriarchy? Everyone here was raised in their mother's stomach, she gave you her nutrients, she had acid reflux, sleepless nights. And when you were big enough to survive on your own, she literally pushed you out of her vagina, potentially mutilating her genitals, and a literal biological cord between you and your mom was cut and you took your dad's last name. Right? Fuck that, right? Fuck that, right? But now that I'm yelling fuck dads, I'm wait, am I mad at dads or do I want to fuck a dad? Because in this current political climate, I think I can do both. That's my PSA to just get out there and start fucking dads. So also it's definitely a straight guy who decided that we should all be called humans, right? It's why couldn't we have just stuck to our gay scientific term, Homo sapiens? And if you define ourselves from a hominid subspecies perspective, we're actually defined as Homo sapiens sapiens. So as a gay person, I'm a Homo sapiens sapien. So now I confidently go up to straight men and I'm I'm twice the man you'll ever be. No. It's scientifically proven. So, it's important to know that for us queer people, sexual education is a very oppressive time, right? For me, I had so many questions that I was too afraid to ask. They weren't telling me anything that I needed to know. Every time an asshole was brought up, everyone in the class would giggle, including the teacher, and I'd be that's what I want to eat. And so I just decided to block the whole thing from my memory, and one of the first times I had to give a blowjob was to an uncircumcised penis, okay? And I blocked the diagram, and I didn't want to appear rude or prude, so I just resorted to being super gay and flirty, and I was
I've never seen one like that before.
and he was you've never seen an uncircumcised penis? And I was
Don't look at me like that.
and he was are you just singing Lady Gaga lyrics at me. And I was like,
Sorry, I cannot hear you. I'm kind of busy.
and like, not to brag or anything, but right after I finished, he looked down at me and was like, and it's like, he couldn't talk. I was the one with the tired mouth. Okay, thank you. I'm Gregory Brown.